A local automotive journalist says he spent days unknowingly being tracked by police after license plate cameras mistakenly identified the test vehicle he was driving as stolen. Kent's going to break down how all this happened and why this story is sparking a much bigger conversation about surveillance.
Right after returning a package at the Kohl's near his Plymouth home.
Hello, sir. Can you come out to me, please?
Joel Fetter.
Is it just you and the wife?
And his wife.
Both of us? Both of us.
Were suddenly surrounded.
I was parked here. There was a car here, so I couldn't just drive away.
Even a week and a half later, he still can't believe it.
And I legitimately looked at my wife and I was like, I wasn't even speeding. Like, there's nothing I did wrong.
That certainly didn't stop things from getting tense.
Are you armed at all? No? Okay, is this your car?
It's complicated. Can I explain it?
Joel is director of content and product at thedrive.com, meaning the Land Rover he was driving wasn't his, but he was test driving it for work.
I have paperwork that I can show you that I drive this for the week.
Okay.
It's owned by Jaguar Land Rover. If you run the plates, it's owned by Jaguar Land Rover. They own it.
Little did he know Plymouth police had already run them.
The reason you have 4 cops here is because your license plate is registered as stolen license plates in our system.
Are you serious? 15 years doing this job. I've never had this. This is insane.
That's because the plates were flagged by an emerging surveillance network of flock cameras. And not just before this stop.
Hit on our license plate readers the other day, too.
Are you serious? Cameras that read my license plate now twice in the last couple of days. And it picked up and flagged it for the cops. You guys been searching for this car. Unreal.
And it turns out the issue at the heart of the stop really wasn't real. Plymouth police released him after more than an hour, telling us today, quote, when the license plate was reported as stolen in California, it was improperly entered in the National Crime Information Center database with incomplete numbers.
Brookfield police with guns drawn pull over a car they say was flagged by flock cameras in connection to a homicide out of Milwaukee. Well, turns out this was all some sort of mishap with the flock camera systems. In fact, Brookfield police say they called Milwaukee police and MPD said they no longer needed the car or the people inside, so officers let them go. But you know, this has really become a point of contention, flock cameras as a whole, as more reports of misuse by law enforcement across the country arise.
You might not be accused of committing a crime, but a coast-to-coast network of cameras is still trying to track your vehicle's movements. While some in law enforcement say license plate readers are a big part of the future of policing, the technology is also a privacy nightmare.
Privacy is never about hiding a crime. Privacy is about deciding who gets access to you.
Though multiple companies sell the devices, much of the public's anger has been directed at flock cameras. Flock Safety's network has more than 120,000 cameras across 49 states that capture a vehicle's license plate, make, model, and color. That information is then put in a searchable database for use by law enforcement. Supporters of Flock's system say the technology has helped police locate missing people, recover stolen vehicles, and track down crime suspects. Frustration with the surveillance cameras has boiled over into vandalism in some locations. Thousands of dollars have been donated to online campaigns to fund legal defenses for some of the accused vandals. Websites like DFlock and Eyes on Flock use crowdsourced data to map out where flock cameras are located and shed more light on which departments have access to the information. While another, Have I Been Flocked, allows users to check if their license plate is among those searched by law enforcement. Lawmakers from both sides of the aisle have criticized the abuses of Flock's technology, with some calling for legislation to bar federal funding for license plate readers. However, half of all states don't have any laws on the books related to license plate readers.
Okay, so absolutely everywhere you look, somebody's talking about Flock. And Flock there's hundreds of cases where people are getting dragged out of their car, stopped in the middle of the highway, surrounded and stopped in the middle of the highway with guns pointed at you, and it has not one thing to do with you. I can show you thousands of videos where cops have shot innocent people for no particular reason whatsoever at all. I just watched a video where a cop literally shot an old guy in a scooter 9 times in the back, point blank. Yeah, he didn't get in trouble. Yeah, it's all good. No problem. This is insane. We don't have constables on patrol anymore. I say this over and over because people may not have heard me say this before. We now have law enforcement, and they are actively hunting you the moment you leave your house. hey, you got a tail light out, get that fixed, will you? And if they see you again and it's the same thing, then there's a problem. That's not the case anymore. You got any weed in this car? You've been drinking? Where are you coming from? Where you been? You know what I mean? It's all a big game now. It's law enforcement, and all the cops are being used. And when they're not needed anymore, they'll see what it's like to be us. When the guys with the bigger badges and the bigger guns are now pointing at them. Because that day is coming, and it is coming rapidly. Rapidly. You see what I'm saying? But here's the thing that I've been telling people for the longest time, and if you were watching my videos, you saw it happen. I had an epiphany. While I was actually driving around filming flock cameras in the local area, I said, wait a minute. These things are made so cheap and they're so obvious. What if these are bait? And it turns out they are. You like my eye? The dog stuck his back paw in my eye because I was laying on the floor playing with him like an idiot. And the big one nailed me in my eye with his back claw. And last night I was in agony. I couldn't see whatsoever at all. But on that, I will digress. The other companies that are running things have the cameras. Flock cameras are for you to see. Flock cameras are for them to study our reaction. What will we do? If they weren't, they wouldn't be all over the mainstream news, and it is. But the other 10 companies also have their cameras up and running. They're in garbage trucks, they're in school buses, they're in car carriers, they're in stoplights, they're in those flashing things that tell you how fast you're going. They're hidden everywhere. You don't see them. You don't believe me? Listen to this.
Introducing Axon Outpost. This is not just another ALPR camera, it's 2 cameras in one. So just like Fleet, you have one camera optimized for license plate reading and the other for live video streaming with a wider field of view. Outpost runs edge-based vehicle signature AI, meaning it doesn't just capture plates, it recognizes vehicle make, model, color, visible damage, and even unique features like bumper stickers or roof racks. And it can be deployed anywhere with a flexible power source, including solar or wired power.
And that's just one of the CEOs. I've showed you this a bunch of times, but in case you've never seen this video before, there's 10 other companies, and you don't hear a word about them. They all do the exact same thing and worse. And the problem is you don't see the cameras, but they all do the exact same thing. And notice Axon's insignia. It's a pyramid from the sky. Isn't that strange? What a strange coincidence. Do you see what I'm saying? You don't find it queer, unusual, strange, not normal, that the people that will not prosecute themselves need to know what we're doing at all times. It's the New World Order. This is really happening all around us while people are blaming this guy and that guy. Some people are starting to finally come around to the point that, hey, maybe Flock is the bait. Just remember, you heard it here first, but I digress.
At Axon, we stand at this unique intersection. We operate the largest connected camera network of public safety cameras and sensors in the world. Our mission extends beyond just transparency and accountability after events. We now have the potential to proactively safeguard society, promptly dispatching assistance and actively deterring violence. Our goal isn't to build a society defined by surveillance or incarceration, but frankly, one where violence and crime rarely occur because they just don't make sense anymore.
Are you seeing what I'm saying now? These guys are all in this together. The front man of Axon, these are all front people like Elon Musk, Bill Gates, everybody. It's all DARPA in the background, okay? And we paid for all this. This is all black budget stuff with spokespersons that they use out front. That's it, every time. The point being is there are Satanists, the Rothschild family. It all trickles down. Do you see what I mean? That was on purpose. It all trickles down. And they're installing this all around us. It's already been up and running. It's up and running. The flock cameras were to see what we would do if we actually knew what these things did. All these accidents, they're to get us going. They want a war. They cannot have their New World Order unless we actually turn on each other. And that's exactly what's going to happen. That's how this world works. They have used social engineering for the entire life of the internet. Think about that. Or listen to this.
One conspiracy that is actually true that would blow everybody's mind and send the world into a panic.
The one that actually is true, and it'll make your brain melt, is this. The entire internet was built as a government honeypot from day one. Not they're watching us. They designed it so we'd all volunteer to be watched. Think about it. ARPANET? That was DARPA's baby in the 70s. They didn't just want to connect computers. They wanted to connect people. Every click, every search, every DM, it's feeding a giant AI that's been training on us since Reagan was president. And here's the mind blower. The deep state doesn't even need warrants anymore because we gave them permission by signing up for Gmail, Facebook, TikTok, whatever. We built their panopticon ourselves. And the craziest part? They already know you're asking me this right now. They're just waiting for you to say something actionable.
Before I wrap this up, let me just throw this one in right here, just so you can see what the actual real agenda is and why you, as an actual awake Christian, don't want to be here anymore. Do you see what I'm saying? You do not want to be here in their system. People are still confused. Richie, how would I use gold and silver at a grocery store? You don't. You don't. Going into a grocery store means you've accepted the digital ID and the digital dollar. You can't have it both ways. You need to be able to rely on what you've been gathering over the last 20 years, because we've had 20 years to get ready for this, but now it's actually happening. Do you follow what I'm saying? Do you hear what I'm saying? Seriously, I can't yell this enough. They have throttled me down to the point where I get 20,000 views, which to me is pathetic, but it is what it is. I can't stop doing this. I don't get paid for this, man. You know what I mean? I've met a lot of great people along the way, but otherwise, I'm doing this. I'm basically yelling into my own shoe for the most part. You know what I mean? I look at the comments and there's not really much going on there. People are just pointing out the obvious or saying silly things, you know? But watch this, because this is their plan for you, at any rate. And this is Bill Gates' new website called All Things Bugs. And man, what a great setup, huh? Look at this. 100% cricket powder, because who doesn't want to eat crickets? Even though I spend the majority of my time out in the wilderness and there aren't any bugs. They're a very, very hard thing to come by because 5 and 6G technology, Wi-Fi, Gwen Towers, LRAD, Doppler, NexRad are all killing the birds, the bees, and everything else that we need. But these guys are busy making sure that All Things Bugs is the world's leading innovator in the insect industry, because they develop sustainable, eco-friendly technologies from insects to improve food security and health. Insects make up the largest, most diverse group of organisms on Earth. And nowhere in the Bible does God tell us to eat them. But, you know, no big deal. This is Bill Gates' website. This is Bill Gates' company. So I will leave links for this so you can peruse this before. And you can read all the reasons why you'll eat bugs and like it. Because they're doing this on every single level all at one time, and they will not stop because people aren't stopping them. Cutting down random cameras here and there is all part of their plan. It's all part of their program. They knew we were going to do that. So don't be surprised. Get your money out of the bank. Get it out of their fiat system. Turn it into gold and silver and have them send it directly to your house. Okay? The Bible says throw your gold and silver in the streets. If you're trying to buy your way into heaven, or if gold and silver is all you ever valued on this earth. It also tells us to endure to the end. You cannot endure to the end and use the digital dollar and the social credit system when you can't. If you're listening to me, you don't have a social credit system score. Do you see what I'm saying? Get your money out of the bank before you can't. This is really happening all around us right now. It can't get any more obvious. And if you don't see that, I'm going to say it. There's no hope. Richie from Boston. I'm out.